orang sudah ngungsi di atas atap, sudah sampai atapnya orang, ya Allah.
Heavy rain that pounded Bali from Tuesday morning, September 9th, to Wednesday, September 10th, 2025, brought disaster. Flooding occurred everywhere. The heavy rain caused a 3-story house standing in front of the BCA Bank Denpasar branch on Jalan Hasanuddin to collapse and be swept away by the river.
Di samping itu, aduh Tuhan, kenapa sampai begini?
In Abang Kaya, Denpasar, the rain triggered flooding, damaging residents' homes and overturning vehicles, blocking the road. In Kota Negara, Jembrana, the Hardee's Hotel, now the Negara Hotel, was flooded, forcing tourists to evacuate to safer ground. The submerged vehicles were immediately moved. In Pengembangan village, Negara, Jembrana, a 23-year-old resident, Nida Ulama, was missing after being swept away by a flash flood on Wednesday morning, September 10th. The victim was a woman. She was riding with her husband on a motorcycle as they crossed the flooded road. Heavy rains that have been pounding Bali since the evening of Monday, September 8th, 2025, have caused flooding in several areas, including the Wanasari area of Kampung Jawa, North Denpasar. In the early hours of Wednesday morning, water levels reaching up to 1.5 meters inundated residents' homes and blocked access to main roads.
Asar Badung, banjir. Alhamdulillah guys. Selamat orangnya. Motor saya kelem di sana, nyelem.
Ih, banjir ton. Ragu kijol aku yani na.
Several residents expressed panic because the floodwaters came suddenly while they were asleep. Several boarding houses were also inundated, damaging residents' belongings. The water level initially rose around 2 a.m. Central Indonesian time. The rain had been falling since Monday night and continued unabated. Overflowing water blocked the bridge, which serves as the main access point for residents. One victim was swept away but was rescued, said Fatahillah, a resident of Kampung Jawa.
Situasi saat
Sanusi, a resident of a flooded boarding house, echoed this sentiment. Around 3 a.m. Central Indonesian time, water entered my room. I woke up 3 boarding house residents, and they are all safe, he said. According to residents, the river near the settlement rose to 6 meters, blocking the bridge.
Jembatan Hasanuddin tanggal 10 September. Ya.
As of Wednesday morning, rain was still pouring down on the area. Residents worked together to clear plastic and wood debris that had blocked the bridge.
Denpasar, Puputan. Ini dari arah Pasar Badung.
Heavy rain that has been pounding Bali since Tuesday night has caused flooding in several areas. One such incident occurred in the Padang Sambian area of West Denpasar. The impact of the flooding was quite severe, with houses submerged, roads paralyzed, and some buildings collapsed. One of the roads in West Denpasar, Jalan Kibo Iwa Selatan, flooded.
Luap sih uling si ulan asalnya jembatannya jebol no.
Jalan Denpasar Batu Bulan jebol.
DTIC Bali's monitoring shows that the water began rising around 3 a.m. Central Indonesian time and entered homes and boarding houses an hour later. The water level reached an adult's thighs, and in lower areas it reached the waist. A pickup truck was seen submerged in floodwater, with only the upper half of its body visible. Meanwhile, according to information obtained, flooding has affected several areas in the Denpasar area. Video footage circulating shows several roads paralyzed by water. Overflowing rivers have exacerbated the situation. This included a location near the Tukad Badung Bridge on Jalan Sulawesi, Denpasar.
Restoran Hong Kong, Pasar Badung. Kita di sini di Atom Baru di lantai 3.
A three-story building was seen collapsing due to the flooding. Similarly, on Jalan Marudi, Kampung Wanasari, North Denpasar, the water level nearly reached the bridge. Houses along the riverbank were submerged, with only their roofs visible. The heavy rain that poured down on Denpasar, as well as throughout Bali, caused flooding in several areas. Locations. Similarly, densely populated areas in West Denpasar, such as the Pura Demak area, Menangmaning, Tegalkerta, Denpasar, and Kumbasari Market, were flooded from early morning until after 6 a.m. Wednesday morning. Similarly, areas in Denpasar, Badung, and Karangasem, Tabanan, were flooded. This situation caused several residential areas to be submerged and several roads to be paralyzed.
Habis rumah.
Tuhan, ini airnya naik loh. Tuh.
According to reports from various sources, waterlogging occurred in many locations, including in Denpasar, flooding inundated several residential areas, such as the Pura Demak area and Gang Pucuk 3 Block C, Ubung.
Murah deh ya, ini di depan nih Pak, di depan Mall Bali Galeria nih, King. Di depan MBG nih. Jadi jalur Nusa Dua, jalur Nusa Dua, Kute, Jembaran tuh udah nggak bisa lewat, Pak.
In Banjar Dadakan Peguyangan, the floodwaters even swept away several cars and motorcycles and damaged the Beji Park at Pura Puseh Ubung. Hundreds of vendors at Kumbasari Market were also affected. In Badung, several areas in Badung were also flooded, including around an elementary school. Imanuel Sempidi and Griya Anyar Simpang Dewa Ruci, where the water level reached an adult's waist. On Jalan Raya Kapal, calf-deep water paralyzed traffic. In Jembrana, flooding inundated dozens of houses in the West Loloan and Dawaru subdistricts. The Denpasar Gilimanuk route was also inundated, making it impossible for vehicles to pass.
Ini banjir.
In Karangasem, heavy rains also triggered flooding and landslides in several areas. In Tabanan, several residential areas in Kediri, Tabanan were flooded.
Pukimai. Hancur kita, rata dengan sungai ini. Ini motor tinggal kepala saja nih.
The Meteorology, Climatology, and Geophysics Agency had previously warned that Bali could potentially experience heavy rainfall until today, September 10th, 2025.
Ini yang di pinggir di tengah udah tenggelam.
Banjir ton.
Based on the weather forecast from the Meteorology, Climatology, and Geophysics Agency, the Bali BMKG has predicted light to moderate rainfall across all regencies and cities across Bali, with temperatures ranging from 24 to 29 degrees Celsius. As of this writing, residents were still conducting independent evacuation efforts and cleaning up debris carried by the flood.